to Sound Healing Sundays. For today, I wanted to work on the sacral chakra. A lot for myself, and if you can relate to the sacral chakra is the chakra of creativity, emotions, passion, and so when we talk about a lot of emotions being in your sacral chakra, for me, there was a lot of anxiety this weekend because of it was all mental, of course. Anxiety is your your brain trying to take over, the situation, and try to take control of the situation, and make sense of a situation. And so I had a nonsensical sense of urgency this entire weekend, and when things didn't happen to a certain schedule, I got anxious, and there was no real urgency. I didn't really have like things. There was no deadline of things that were getting missed. It was just a shift in schedule, which is change is hey there. Change is very difficult for neurodivergent people. So like a change in schedule, a change in plans, last minute type of things, last minute invites. I just told someone this the other day, like last minute invites, things like that, just make you highly anxious because again, you try to prepare for everything and you just can't. Life just happens. And so I really just wanted to give myself a pat on the back, honestly, because I had a sense of urgency and then got a flat tire today. And I was just so excited to get home, and like I planned on juicing and meal prepping and getting ready for the work week and all these other things. And I was like, I have time to take my time and relax. But I got a flat tire coming back from visiting my mom. And of course, that just added a 2.5 hour delay to my day. And so, I know old self would have really just had a meltdown. Like I had my little like sad little, inner tantrum about like, you know, but old self really would have internalized a lot of it. Like my day is ruined. I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm gonna cancel the live. I'm not gonna meal prep. I'm just gonna stop and get something to eat and worry about the financial, aspects of having to call, getting the tire fixed and all these things, right? But it was just kind of like, life is gonna happen, right? There was no rhyme or reason. There was no real blame. There was no at fault. It was just a flat tire, and it was like I think I did a pretty good job of just like radically accepting the annoyance of like having to sit there and wait. But it was just like you gotta full take a gas. You're safe and sound. You're in a familiar neighborhood. Like it's a beautiful day outside. Just looking at the positives and getting home safely, on that spare tire. That was the biggest thing, and in a thunderstorm, including that, was just getting home safely. And there was just so much gratitude for how I just felt like, okay, I managed my emotions through that because I did go through a ebb and a quick. It was the recovery for me, right? Not sitting in those emotions of irritation and disappointment and those things. It was the ebb and flow of coming back to the reality of, it's an inconvenience, but it's not ruining your entire day. You had a really amazing day. Just had a great interview with a black owned business. Got to see my mom and, spend some time with her. So it was just kind of like, don't let this moment ruin the entire day. And I know old self would have completely let it ruin the entire day. And I think I handled that well. And I think that was the whole purpose of the sacral chakra is, let it go and let it flow. Let your emotions flow, release control, um, let what happened will happen, and just being in a moment of gratitude and sitting in the emotions of gratitude. And so that's why I wanted to journal on today is what is something that you need to release control of. What are some things you need to release some control of and let flow, and let relinquish control and let the universe kind of step in and just take control and just observe your emotions for what they are, but try to release control of urgency, of of time. Um, because again, I was in a rush to come home and meal prep. Like, come on now, like lame. But I was so excited about it. Um, but it's like, are we making a situation? Are we catastrophizing? Are we magnifying a situation versus just kind of accepting it for what it is, and not letting the situation just kind of play out and detaching from that emotional, you know, the emotional roller coaster we put ourselves through by overthinking a lot of things. So you for yourself think of a particular situation. I'm going to reflect on my day in my journal entry. You do what you need to, and I will give you a good 5 minutes to go ahead and get that done. I will go ahead and get started with the sound bath. I guess that's the prelude. My healing fam, if you want to come back with me, join me in our consciousness. If you want to slowly wiggle your toes, wiggle your legs, get a good stretch. I appreciate you joining me for this evening. Again, I am here every Sunday at 8 p.m. live for Sound Healing Sundays, where we do our weekly journal reflections and our sound bath sessions. You can also catch my playback. I put the following live every Sunday, so you can always check the playback. And then I always have the weekly series, Healing Not Healed, if you want to have more engaging discussions about just other related topics. So again, thank you for joining me here today. Again, the light that is within me sees the light that is within you. Thank you. Namaste.